Charles "Do Bronx" Oliveira says to Aaron Bronstetter he's not going to be ready at UFC 294. That was all the rumor. Announced Abu Dhabi main event Islam Makhachev versus to be decided. And we saw Charles Oliveira go out and starch Beneil Dariush on the UFC 289 pay-per-view. We're like, oh, for sure, they're giving Charles Oliveira the title fight. Obviously, the winner of Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje's not going to be ready in time. And yeah, there was Alexander Volkanovski to possibly get that title fight, but most of us in the back of our minds were like, oh yeah, we're definitely getting a Charles Oliveira Islam Makhachev main event for Abu Dhabi. Oliveira says he's not ready. He says he will be ready by November or December even. UFC 295 or UFC 296. But I'm going to be honest, the UFC already planned on Islam being at UFC 294. Volkanovski is fighting this weekend. I think he's going to smash Yair Rodriguez in the main event, ground and pound TKO him in one of those middle rounds. And I think Volkanovski is going to get right onto that mic. We had the really I don't know how he talks. I don't have a good Australian accent, but he's going to talk about we had a really close fight with Islam Makhachev. A lot of people thought I won. A lot of people thought Islam won. Let's run it back in your home country this time. Last time we did it in my home country of Australia. I'm going to go to your backyard and take your belt from you and bring it back to Australia. That's kind of how I envision the call out going from Alexander Volkanovski. And it just makes sense. If Oliveira can't do it, the next guy is literally Volkanovski because the man had a split decision with you. Oliveira got finished by you. This makes sense. Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev, maybe February, maybe March. Something like that if Islam can beat Alexander Volkanovski again. But this literally means Volkanovski, Islam Makhachev, UFC 294. Probably like an 80% chance that that's what's going to happen. Or they just scrap it all together and do Islam versus Oliveira in November or December and have Leon versus Colby at UFC 294. But neither of them are from that area of the world. I don't really think that would make much sense, to be quite honest with you. So I think they keep Islam on there and have him versus Alexander Volkanovski. And my early prediction for that fight, I am going to go Islam Makhachev by a decision. This time a little bit more dominant than the first time because he knows what Alexander has been training. He knows his wrestling and grappling has been getting better and better and better. I think Islam's going to make his improvements. I think Volkanovski's done the best he can do against Islam Makhachev in that last fight. And we got to think, UFC 294 from UFC 290 is not that big of a gap for Volkanovski to bulk up properly to be a legitimate UFC lightweight. I mean, we have to think about that as another legitimate factor here. July 8th is UFC 290. UFC 293 in Sydney, Australia is on September 9th. That was another rumor from maybe Volkanovski being on there. But now we're saying most likely UFC 294, Abu Dhabi, October 22nd. That's July, August, September, October. That is literally 3 months and a half, maybe 3 months and a week for Volkanovski to bulk up. I don't think it'll be enough time for him. I think he loses yet again. I don't think he gets finished. But I do have Islam Makhachev by another decision. What do y'all think about this in the lightweight division? Last thing, I was about to just end the video and start editing it and all that type of stuff. From Ali Abdelaziz reacting to that news that I just told you, Ali Abdelaziz, Islam Makhachev's manager, says Islam will fight in Abu Dhabi, no matter what. No matter what. He's not going to wait for November or December. He is going to fight in Abu Dhabi. There's not going to be an Oliveira rematch as for right now. And we are going to get Islam Volkanovski or Islam versus the winner of Poirier and Gaethje. But we already know Poirier and Gaethje, they have like no time to really prepare, especially after what I assume to be an absolute war in the UFC's lightweight division. What do y'all think? Thoughts down below.